All right. I'm going to share with you three incidents that took place with my clients. These all three are old incidents that took place, and I made sure that I took permission from the clients before sharing them. This is how these men, uh, almost all of them Indian, got into trouble with females. Now, obviously, I don't want to give you specifics because, privacy and safety. So, the reason why I'm sharing this incident with you is so that you remain careful. You don't make the same mistakes that these guys made because it ended up costing them peace of mind. They had a mental, emotional breakdown in some cases. Some cases they threatened for police. They, kind of blackmailed with money. Okay, but you could say that the problem is now sorted out, but it wasn't easy. So I'll give you these three examples. Use them to make sure that you learn from their mistakes. The first one was a booking that I got from a guy who is a coach. He's like me. He gives coaching. He has a presence online. He does calls and coaching. But the difference between him and me is he meets clients face to face. He conducts classes, conducts workshops. He's invited as a guest for keynote speeches. Dynamic guy, good looking, great personality. He really attracts a crowd. He has this charisma. But then the problem is when you keep meeting people, no? When you keep going to new places, new venues, keep having new people in the class, there is always a tendency for females to get attracted to you, to look at you as larger than life. And obviously, they're like, wow, he's so cool, he's so sexy, that kind of thing. Young men look up to you as, wow, my hero, and they want to get close to you. So even females. But when females want to get close to you, sometimes there is the sexual element that comes, that bubbles up. So it so happened that this particular girl, she was full of praise for this guy, and she kind of told him like, "You are amazing," flattering him, buttering him, and all that. And by the way, forgot to tell you, this coach guy is married, not was. Um, but then again, what do you do when a girl throws herself at you and constantly messages you and constantly sends you, emails and this and that? You know where the story is headed. So eventually, at some point, I guess, they started meeting. He started meeting her personally. They used to go for walks and this and that. And then one day, when sitting in the car, just a goodbye kiss got extended, and before you know it, they started to have an affair, which is not very good news. So now, when a girl admires you, absolutely admires you, and wants you, thinks the world of you, obviously she'll want to be with you, want importance. She'll get jealous when you're not there, and then she feels she has an authority in your life, and she can, uh, demand certain things. So initially, it was kind of cute that this young girl she says she loves me, she wants me, she can't stay without me, and he was giving her gifts and all that. But it comes down to a point where, the honeymoon phase, like they say, is over, and then the ugly side turns up, especially when expectations boil over. And then this girl started, I'm missing you, come now. If you don't come now, I'm going to go crazy. And then, why are you spending more time with your wife? And, you're buying her gifts, you're not buying me anything. You don't care about me. I'm feeling sick, I'm feeling depressed. And this started to affect him in his work, and especially when he would go for other classes, coaching sessions, and she would see other girls come to him sometimes, and she would be jealous. Why is that girl coming? And it made his life really miserable. His wife was very understanding that way, This is a young girl, and she was not. And it came down to a part where, typical Indian females, emotional blackmail. I'll cut my wrist. I will, kill myself. I'll go to my parents. I'll tell them this and that. And when the situation got out of control, is where he got in touch with me. And I'll tell you, he was in a very bad state. He was very afraid. And the relationship had gone to such an extent where he there was no way for him to sort out this in a hidden manner, especially when the girl was hyper impulsive. Okay, long story short, what eventually ended up happening is, I know this, many people have different solutions. The only solution I managed to tell him is he had to open up to his wife. There was no other way for him because, where else will he go? If he tells his wife, let's move to a new city, new town, then he has to give her the reason, right? And if he says, okay, I'm no longer going to do this, and because the girl was constantly calling him and emails and this and that, not only that, they had to appoint an intermediary. They had to keep this, under wraps, and eventually they ended up meeting up with this girl, with the wife, which was the most uncomfortable thing, and they gave her a good payout, a good sum of money as a payout. And being a young girl, I guess it took her a little bit of time, but eventually, money does the trick. It was a substantial sum. And the reason why the wife had to, agree to it is because her parents didn't want, she didn't want them to know and all that. And biggest thing of all was after they took a legal, this thing binding from her that she's going to keep the story under wraps, and this is the compensation for it. They actually had to move away from the part of India that they were. It was a terrible thing. It was, and yes, the husband really, really is lucky to have such an understanding wife, but it was not all roses. He really had to pay a price. He really lost trust, and it's only because they had kids and they had a family that she chose to sacrifice and keep the family together. But ever since, things have been okay. Only thing is, the husband has lost most of his privileges of doing whatever he wants under trust, constantly under supervision of wife, and he's also mellowed down quite a bit. But I can tell you this much, that he dodged a massive bullet. He would have completely been destroyed had the news spread in the place where he was, because schools, colleges, institutes, offices, his students and all that. So this, as I'm pretty sure you can make out, it was not a 1 week, 6 months, or 1 year. This took at least 2-3 years to really sort out. So the first moral of the story, which I'll tell you, is always remember, if you don't think with this head and you think with the other head, there is a very big price to pay. And he paid a big price. Okay. Just one clue I'll give you. He sold off one of his major properties just to sort out all this shit. It was too much. Okay. This is a story that had a good ending. This other story is not such a good ending. Once again, this is Indian client. But this guy is from South India. And he was running a successful business. He was running a successful group of restaurants, and he was one of the partners in the restaurant. Why do I say was? Because his partners were all conservative Muslims. And he also, you live as a community and everyone knows everyone else. And everything was going fine. This guy used to get in touch with me here and there, and sometimes he used to take tips on personal branding and improving small, no big contract, like 20 minutes, small call and all that. Young man, pretty young, dynamic because he has traveled. One day he got into, little bit of Instagram, little bit of, some girls chatting, this and that. There are these sites which, you can book and get a girl and you can talk to them. And then if you agree with them, it's kind of an OnlyFans. You pay a little money and they'll give you some extra bit of entertainment, whether you want photographs or videos or you want to cam or whatever. So he got into this, and very soon he got addicted to it because it was rather kinky. Yeah, remember, he comes from a very conservative background. So he couldn't get kinky with his own wife, I guess. So here he could get kinky with these girls. And because he was South Indian, I guess he had the South Indian fetish for South Indian girls. And the mistake that he did was he managed to get a girl who, like Tinder, they say how many miles away from where you stay and all that. He managed to get a girl who kind of stayed nearby, or at least that was the information. And he didn't physically meet the girl, but he became her daily customer. He became her daily customer, paid her like 1 hour. He used to do it literally every single day. And it became so much of an addiction. She used to send him videos and photographs of her private parts and all that. And he also started to engage with her by actually putting on the cam and showing her whatever she would say. And both of them were busy, engaged on it. And yes, he used to pay her money. So, but then always keep in mind that there's only so much uh, you'd like of a particular thing. Like how many pizzas of the same you can eat, how many uh, particular cold drink or shake you can keep drinking. You want a little bit of variety. So very soon he started to get bored of this girl. And well, for her, he was the cash cow. He was guaranteed customer every day, guaranteed tips every day, and he used to give a guarantee, and he used to give a lot of gifts. You know, so she must have thought, "This is my cash cow. This is my boyfriend. This is my ATM." And she also had a kind of because she used to give me extras for free. Okay, this is for you for free. You're my baby. Take this video for free. What do you want me to do? Today I'll not charge you. So she kind of felt that he owed her, like you owe me. I give you so many things for free. Even though they didn't physically meet, I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you extras for free. I'm not charging you. So when he kind of started showing hints that he was getting bored or less time, and she would always demand, okay, you pay for 3 hours and we will have for 3 hours. So initially he was agreeing, but how much can you keep? Like I said, eat the same pizza, have the same dish every day. So very soon, and he was paying her extra tips also. Remember that much. So he was like, no, I'm busy, I'm this and that. And obviously, the writing was on the wall. She could feel it. And then she confronted him. So, are you bored of me? Are you? I'm not bored. I'm just busy and this and that. And then they started to get into fights. They started to get into arguments. Girls always feel they owe you, that you owe them something. And this was where it took a very bad turn, where what he used to assume, see, when she would send him the photographs and videos of all they were doing, he wouldn't keep it. Initially, he used to keep it, then he would delete it. And if you would store it, maybe in a DVD or something. But she, on the other hand, made sure she kept all the transcripts, all the chat logs, all the photographs, she had right from day one, which he was not aware of. I don't know what made him trust her. And when he started to keep a distance and all that, she started to mail him, I'm going to tell your wife this. What if she sees this? And imagine showing a photograph of yourself in a very compromising positions, doing crazy stuff and chatting different things. And he was in such a state of shock that he didn't know what to do. Finally, he got in touch with me. That time I was not into all these consulting, but obviously he asked me, I'm just desperate. I don't know what to do. Please guide me. Please help me. And the problem was, because he had kind of befriended her, on a fake Facebook ID of hers to keep in touch. She had made a note of, those days Facebook had, you could see the friends. So she had made a list of all the friends, all the relatives, everyone else. And she threatened to send all of them the photographs and videos. And I just told him, boss, she has you by the balls. There's nothing you can do. She'll keep, extorting money from you. And I told him to go make a police case, and I told him take it legally. But he was just not ready to listen. See, the problem is, if you're not willing to listen to me, I can't do anything. And in a state of panic, he did the one thing he should not have done. He just disabled his, deleted his Facebook account, thinking that nothing would happen. And I told him, don't do it. You're acting out of impulse. Well, he didn't listen to me. She ended up getting in touch with all the people on his Facebook, social media. He had Facebook, he didn't have LinkedIn, anything else, including his partners, and all the not all, but the major transcripts, videos were shared to everyone. Long story short, the business partners asked him to leave the partnership. The village or the place he was staying, almost everyone, you just need one person to get the news. Everyone ended up, most of the people ended up getting his photographs and all that. He had to leave that village. He had to leave the people. His wife sought a divorce, which they ended up separating. Couldn't help it there. Couldn't save the marriage. I don't know if they've actually gotten divorced, because he just disappeared from social media after that. And he had to leave that place completely. And where he is now, what he's doing, I don't know. He has never appeared since. We only had that last bit of conversation. But the second story is sad, because he lost everything. Reputation, everything destroyed because of this. So second moral of the story is, boss, what happens in Rome stays in Rome. Don't continue, don't keep long-term relation, and especially don't involve them in your personal life, where they know all your friends, relatives, phone numbers, emails, everything else. Okay. Last but not the least, this one is young college student, educated abroad in the West. He came from a good family. He is from a good family. Good-looking guy, nice hair and fashionable. Nobody would say that he's a typical Indian type. And he used to attract a lot of girls. And, you must be wondering, how did he become my client? Well, he only became my client after he messed up big time. And what actually happened is, because he was studying abroad, he was in the West. In the West, they have, boy and girl can meet together, book a hotel, stay together, have sex, have an affair, blah, blah. So the girl that he got was actually from Delhi. And, because he was a hotshot, abs, he had an accent. And so she definitely fell in love, inverted commas. And, she had sex, she had everything with him. And she was under the assumption that he's going to get married to her and they're going to have a future forever. The problem was in the communication. He used to always tell her his future plans, his dreams, the startup company, move to this part of whichever, US or Canada, whatever, have a startup there, buy this expensive car. He used to share his dreams, I want to have a couple of properties and buy and sell, invest in crypto. So he used to give her all this, and she was under the assumption that this is us together. We will have investments in startup companies. We will have cryptocurrencies. We will have a nice house in, example, Miami. All the while he was telling her, bragging to her about his dreams. So she thought we. And because they were having sex and because they were having all the jing bang, he thought this is a modern girl with a modern outlook, which she was modern. Little did he know that an Indian girl, no matter how modern she is, she will always have the Indian roots. And so without him knowing this, she had told her parents that she's in love with him, that they're going to get married. And, mother, father had met him. The mother was absolutely fixated that they're going to get married. And she brainwashed the father that they're going to get married. Mother knew, father didn't know that they were having sex and all that stuff. And this was going on until he came to know that no, he had to go back abroad because he's living abroad. He wants to stay abroad. He finished his education, came back for a long duration for holiday work and this and that, and he wants to go abroad. So when he wanted to go abroad, he told this girl, I'll be moving. We'll keep in touch. We'll forever be friends. And she was like, huh? Sorry, what do you mean? We'll forever be friends and you're supposed to get married to me. So he was like, married? When did I say married? What do you mean you didn't say married? What are we doing? I'm having sex with you. I told my parents about you. So for him, it was, major communication gap. He was assuming that this is a typical girl from the West. He didn't know he was dealing with, yes, you show you're modern, you dress modern, you act modern, drink alcohol, but you still think like Indian. And so, before you know it, the girl's parents, along with the police, ended up at this guy's place, and they had decided to take it like legally and make a big mess out of every single thing. This was a really bad case, very, very bad case. And that was when he got in touch with me. And they had, um, he wanted to know what is the solution. Now, the only thing which I can't do is tell you what happened and how did they sort it out. It's not straightforward. They didn't do it ethically. They had to do it playing with the loopholes, which I can't share with you. He also because I had given him instructions of how to go about this. But it took a period of, I think, a couple of years. It took serious couple of years, after which they mutually broke up. And that was that. But how did they break up? How did they end up with this? That I cannot tell you, because there were a couple of things which were done not so legal. Means they didn't hurt or harm the girl, but there were a lot of loopholes. They worked, I wouldn't say illegal, but they worked through the loopholes of the system. Where is the guy today? He is totally underground, vanished. No social media. You cannot search. Nothing. His parents, well, they're still more or less in the same place, but they had to really go through hell, absolute hell, with their parents meeting them and this and that and court case and this and that. But finally, like they say, time heals everything and people move on. And because this girl was slightly modern, she wouldn't want to wait for too long. She also got someone else and she also moved on. But it took a long time. And those few years, let's say, for example, 5 years, were nothing but pure hell. This guy, once he landed abroad and all that, he decided never to come back to India. Parents also told him never to come back. And I can tell you, not a day goes by where he regrets his actions. And he would have completely destroyed his life had he remained in India. But lucky for him, he had the resources to move out. So, yeah. So anyway, I thought I'll give you these 3 lessons, 3 incidents, 3 mistakes. Like I always tell people, listen, there is one head up here, there is one head down there. Blood can only come to one head or the other head, not both the heads. So please make sure that you use this head. Think clearly, think coolly. Don't use the other head, or you'll pay a price that you'll not be able to pay, and it'll cost you more than you can ever bear. Remember, love, sex is a very temporary phase, but the decisions you make during that high, that emotional sexual high, it'll cost you more than you can bear. Wanted to share something of value? Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. And let me know if you have any questions. But like I said, can't share the identity and can't be specific about it. You guys take care. Be smart, especially young men, and be safe. You guys, bye bye.